Rocco Spindler is one of the only players on Nebraska's roster with college football playoff experience. He actually has national championship experience. Plus, the senior lineman knows a thing or two about the Michigan Wolverines. Rocco grew up in Clarkston, Michigan, just an hour outside Ann Arbor. I caught up with the senior lineman ahead of playing his home state school. Clarkston, Michigan guy, about an hour from Ann Arbor. What do the Michigan Wolverines mean to you?
Michigan was in my background. You know, I had the wing helmet, you know, in high school with Clarkston, and you know, because they're always, you know, kind of what we try to replicate our game around at Clarkston, and you know, it was kind of a hard decision to say no to them when I was getting recruited in high school, but you know, had to make the right decision for myself.
Now, a lot of people know Dylan Raiola and his story and his dad Dominic, who played with the Lions. Your dad also spent 9 seasons in the NFL. Just how much of an influence was your dad Mark on your football career?
And honestly, I learned everything from him, just kind of my mentality. Being an offensive lineman, he was a defensive lineman, so we kind of had some differences in there, but I mean, he had the mentality of like, hey, like, you're gonna get after the quarterback, but instead, like, now you're protecting him.
You spent 4 years at Notre Dame and even made it to a national championship game. How have you maybe taken those experiences and those lessons that you learned here now with this offensive line group at Nebraska?
It's kind of like what the standards, you know, I set for myself and what I've learned from previous guys, you know, just building off those standards each day and, you know, with our preparation that we do.
How has this group meshed together since you stepped on campus?
It's just what we do off the field, getting together, you know, going to the pool, you know, maybe watch some extra film, watching football. Just kind of that builds that camaraderie, you know, having, you know, each other's backs, you know, when, you know, you're in that fire. And, you know, if it's third down and long, like, you know, you can trust that guy to the left and right of you.
How are you guys preparing for this game?
Got to make the most of each opportunity that we get, and, you know, we just got to play as 5 as 1.
The baby photo that helped announce your commitment news that you were transferring to Nebraska. How did you end up with that Husker jersey?
It was my dad just retired from the NFL, and, you know, I was just born too, so I just kind of missed his, you know, his NFL career. And like one of the fans said, like, hey, like, your son's gonna be, you know, a Husker. And my dad was like, I don't know about that, maybe, you know, Michigan. And finally, you know, they sent him a jersey, and it was like, hey, you know, we'll try in the jersey. My mom, you know, took little baby photos of me, and, you know, kind of put the jersey in some storage, and, you know, 20 plus years later, I'm here.
So what are you expecting from the environment, and also just knowing that the boys in blue are coming to town as well?
It's a big game, and, you know, we need our fans, and I believe, you know, it's going to be something special.